Let's keep somewhat in the theme. A controversial guest is arriving at the Élysée tonight in Paris, and Emmanuel Macron is rolling out the red carpet. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is in Paris for a 2-day visit, despite fierce criticism from French journalist unions who call his presence a provocation and a blow to media freedom. MBS remains accused in a French investigation into torture and forced disappearance linked to the killing of journalist Jean-Emile Jammine. Yet tonight, the two leaders will be sharing the spotlight at Paris's Esports World Cup. Tomorrow it's diplomacy, business and billions of euros in potential deals, with France seeking closer ties with one of the most powerful Gulf states. For more information, let's bring in Susanne Koelbl, foreign correspondent for Der Spiegel and author of Behind the Kingdom's Veil, Inside the New Saudi Arabia under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. I don't think we could have a better guest tonight, Susan, because you can talk to us about this new Saudi Arabia and how France has literally rolled out the red carpet. It's not the first time since what we saw with Jamal Khashoggi. Is Emmanuel Macron effectively giving MBS a clean bill?
It definitely looks like. Thank you for having me, Jean-Emile. Macron is demonstrating that the international condemnation of MBS, which was beginning with the murder of Khashoggi in 2019, has been overcome. I mean, it's a very surprising, well-planned move, and I think it's a shift in position. The shift in position was primarily a matter of Realpolitik. Saudi Arabia had become too important for energy, regional security, investment, and diplomacy in the Middle East to be permanently isolated. So Macron wanted to establish France as an independent, balanced power between the Mediterranean and the Gulf. And his visit to Riyadh, he was in Riyadh before that, was therefore focused on economic cooperation, strategic coordination, and a greater French role. I mean, you could say Macron wants to institutionally anchor the bilateral shift and position France to Saudi Arabia, preferred European partner.
But from where you sit, France is not the only one who seems to have at least changed their opinion of MBS and welcomed him so openly, certainly in the West. I mean, this is an ongoing situation where it feels like economic interests matter so much more than accountability for the West at large.
I think we see a general shift, don't we? I mean, particularly when it comes to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is diversifying its alliances since the attack on its oil facilities in 2019 by the Iranians. It made very clear to them that the US is not a reliable partner any longer. So from that moment on, they changed their strategy to put all eggs in one basket. And they started two things: to reach out to other partners. And as you could see, there's a new NATO-like organization now between Pakistan, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. And the idea is to defend each other if any attack is happening on any of those partners. So you have two super strong armies. Pakistan and Turkey are very strong armies. And so you see, and they are reconciliation. They have reconciliation with all kind of partners. But so far in Europe, people have been very cautious. And the move we see that President Macron is doing right now, and he sets up a Franco-Saudi Strategic Partnership Council. I mean, that's a complete new move, which we see in Europe, at least.
That's such an official name. It's almost bypasses the criticism that would come France's way, just in the name itself. I'm just wondering, I mean, Macron obviously knows the criticism would come from welcoming MBS. What does France want out of this so badly that he's willing to bypass that criticism, willing to take it on?
The focus is on investment, technology, energy, transportation, health, defense, regional diplomacy. It's really a very, very big package of topics that they have agreed on. And you see, it's a win-win for both. At the same time, Paris needs Riyadh as an influential player regarding Gaza, Iran, maritime security, and potential mediation efforts. In return, MBS gains a lot. He wants international recognition, and that demonstrates that the political isolation stemming from this case with Khashoggi has largely been overcome.
And would you imagine Khashoggi to even be mentioned once between the leaders?
Not publicly. I mean, maybe maybe they will bring it up in a way that has been organized in the protocol before. That's possible, but I think it's not likely, because Macron has mentioned it at the time. Things has been said. MBS has taken full responsibility for that. So there's not much more that can be said. If you make the decision to roll out the red carpet for him, that's telling for itself.
And just from your perspective, from where you're standing, I mean, you focused on this new Saudi Arabia under MBS. You talk about his accountability. France looking to him as a potential big player. I just wonder, given the dynamics that we're seeing in the Gulf region, the Middle East, obviously Saudi Arabia very much affected by Iran and everything that's going on there. How volatile do you think France sees any kind of other relationships that they may be pivoting towards Saudi Arabia? Or is it just a case of keeping those who you're not so comfortable with in check by just welcoming them to the Élysée?
Saudi Arabia is too big to be ignored. It's still the biggest oil exporting country in the world, and it is the powerful country in the region, the most powerful country in the region. Even they have this competition with Iran. And I don't know where the negotiations stand right now in this very difficult situation. Saudi Arabia and Iran has started talks to find a way to live together and not fight each other any longer. So, but at the end of the day, Saudi Arabia tries to transform its economy, has liberalized its society. That doesn't mean that it's less autocratic or liberal as a ruler, as a monarchy. Certainly, it's an absolute monarchy, and the human rights record stays very concerning. And but at the end of the day, it's the major player when it comes to energy. Very easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So no wonder France wants to keep them close. Susanne Koelbl, thank you so much for providing your thoughts and analysis. Really interesting to see exactly how this relationship is going to evolve after this meeting at the Élysée tonight between MBS and Emmanuel Macron.